Welcome to week 4 of 2019's The Freelancers Tea Break. So this month we've been talking all about goals and strategy, and I wanted to touch a little bit on the importance of celebrating your wins. So previously we've talked this month about being overwhelmed by your goals, the best apps to stay on focus, and also just how to set those priorities when you first start the year. But I think the importance of celebrating your wins is so important for me to cover in this podcast, because as freelancers or self-employed people, we can be kind of terrible bosses to ourselves. We don't often give ourselves credit for the brilliant things that we achieve. We don't often take a moment to really celebrate that. So I want to explain why it's so important that you celebrate those wins. And it's actually a psychological thing that if you don't celebrate those wins, you don't complete the cycle of a task. So a task is sort of the idea itself, the research, it might be working with a client, whatever that is. And then at the end of the cycle, if you don't celebrate your win, that cycle ends up being incomplete, and then you just go on to the next task and you don't get that satisfaction. So it's really important that you celebrate your wins. I feel like I'm saying celebrate your wins a lot, but hopefully that brings home the point. It's really, really important that you celebrate it, because then you close that cycle, you get the satisfaction, and then you can move on. And it also means that you get motivated for the next task, rather than just feeling like you're constantly moving from task to task to task. And it's also good for your self-esteem to show what you've achieved. So for example, I know some of the people in my group like to go for a glass of fizz or a glass of wine after they've been to a really big client meeting and closed that client. Others might just pop into Paperchase, or it might just be allowing yourself a couple of hours after a big networking event just to have some guilt-free Netflix time, especially if you're an introvert, by the way. I would always, as an introvert, give yourself a segment of time after you've been to a networking event to sort of de-people and re-energise. So that's basically the reason why you need to make sure that you reward yourself. And like I say, it doesn't have to be a financial thing, although I would definitely look at giving yourself a bonus as well. It's why I recommend putting 30% aside each month for your tax bill, but also to give yourself a little bit of money, hopefully. If all goes well and you don't need to dip into it. When you've paid your tax bill, then you've got that nice little chunk of bonus that you can give to yourself. So think about every week how you can create some kind of reward for yourself, so for a big task done or a client meeting or something like that. I'd love to know what your rewards are, so jump on over to the Facebook group, The Freelance Lifestylers, and let me know what your favourite reward is.